Trizzy the rapper. He come with the clappers.
What's up, guys? So we have our intermediate vid, the next video in the series, the middle child, the close to the advanced vid. This is pretty close, as close as you'll get to the advanced stuff, without watching the advanced video, of course. And I wanted to start off this video with understanding the saltier you are at the game, the closer you are to being one of two types of people. And when I say that, I mean, number one, the type of person you could be is someone who gives up. Like you'd rather just not play a certain character anymore in ranked, or just ignore it. Just ignore it. Like, for example, you lose against Kuma or like Panda, you know, and you're just like, oh, I'm not gonna play against that character again. Well, when you do play against that character again, you're kind of free. You're kind of free in ranked, and you're kind of free in tournament. Hopefully, tournament players don't do that, because then you'll get freed up by these obscure characters. The second person you can be is someone who improves on your salt. And I've seen situations where a person makes the most amount of improvement on their game when they choose to improve after getting angry about their losses, or rather than giving up, or just like waiting a bit and then saying, oh, I'm not angry about my loss, or I don't feel anything about my loss anymore. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't feel anything about losing anymore, it's just like, well, when you go into the lab, you're not going to care about all the stuff that you lab. But if you just got into a loss, you're going to go into the lab, you're going to be like, okay, well, what was Double Gen hitting me with? He accidentally did back 2-3 one time. Oh, that's launch on block. You know what I'm saying? Now you're going to remember that forever. But you're not going to remember that if the loss was like 3 to 4 days before. You know what I'm saying? The second topic that I wanted to talk about is understanding that I need to read this joint first, bruh. The second topic that I want to talk about is understanding that getting angry at the game and getting salty it's not a product of you losing the like cheap stuff in the game. Like, you can lose to a lay player and they can gimmick you to death all day long, or you can lose to, I don't know, something like a Kazuya player, or like a Double Gen player who has all fundamentals and they beat you that way. Despite what you think and how you say they should play a certain way, which wouldn't get you mad, your anger stems from confusion. Like, if you're confused on how you lost, you're still gonna get angry. You know what I'm saying? It's just that gimmicks are something that you have to lab. Fundamentals are something that you can see with your eyes, you know? Like, you can just like tell this guy has spacing, he has good timing. Like, it's just another way to have an excuse to not get angry. Do you know what I'm saying? But in actuality, you're still gonna be angry at any loss that you take. As long as you don't know how you lost, you're gonna be extremely angry still. Despite if it's a lay player or if it's some Brian player who just has all fundamentals, you know? Which is why we go into the lab. Which is why we go into the lab and we make sure that we don't lose certain stuff, and we actually watch our clips. We have to watch the matches that we lost in order to learn. Like, there's no way you can win against someone who has better fundamentals than you if you don't watch your loss against that person. You know what I'm saying? But you can not watch your loss against a gimmick character and just go into the lab, and that's probably your best option too. But either way, you're not gonna win against someone who gimmicks you out or someone who has better fundamentals than you if you don't look at your losses. That's a very important thing that people overlook and don't want to do, because it could be ego, it could be, I don't know, it could be that it makes them saltier. But we just talked about this, how you can be a person who gives up or a person who takes his salt and become a better player. There's no other better way to be a better player than to be salty and to have that drive to win and just win. The next time you play them, you just win because you labbed it. You labbed whatever they did. You watched the clips. You know that you lost because they spaced better than you. So this time you'll be aggressive, or this time you'll try spacing yourself. Try to see how that goes for you. And then the last topic that I want to talk about is setting a goal for yourself and accepting how far or how hard of a climb it is to actually get good at the game. Because Tekken is a deep game. This game is pretty deep. Like it's a really extensive game, not just with like move lists, but also with fundamentals at the game. Like, I don't know. Just knowing people's tendencies, like if someone's this far away, if a double gen player is this far away and he does up forward 4, you can start to pick up on that tendency. But when he starts to close in on you, then he always hell sweeps, you know? Like, you can pick up on these little tendencies, and this, just knowing that, you have to pick these up in a first or two setting in tournaments, which is extremely hard. And that's just one of the reasons why this game is so deep, because you have these small little factors that you have to take into account and you have to react to in a very short setting, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be a first 3. Could be grand finals, you know, grand finals. Or like, for example, Jin, right? Jin just has his 4-4-3 into one jab string, right? But the one jab whiffs. The one jab whiffs, and he does 1-2, in which case you have to hold that string. But if he does one jab by itself, you can actually punish him for that. And it's a very strange thing, but it's even more common when you have characters like Kunimitsu, who are smaller characters, or like Zafina, who has a really good backdash. You can make these things happen more often, or like create new situations where other characters really can't. And that's also a thing that makes this game so deep. It's that you have to know these small little situations against 52 characters in the game. There are 52 characters. I think that's including Panda and Kuma. If you combine those two, that's 51. There's 51 characters in the game. So, you know, this game gets pretty deep. And another thing that I want to talk about is you might need to change your expectations on how far you can actually get based on what you're doing already. So like if you're struggling with blue ranks, right? How likely are you to get Emperor without looking at your matches? How far are you gonna get to Emperor without asking people for help on your matches? Like, you can get people to watch your matches, or you can ask the person you lost to, how did you lose this match? Like, what went wrong? Did they have your timing? You know, you can get information at any moment to try and help you win. But if you're just sitting there doing the same things over and over, expecting things to change, then it might not work out for you. You might be sitting there with 50,000 matches, and yes, I've seen people with over 50,000 probably like 75,000 matches, and they played exactly the same as they did when they had 500 matches, you know. So there's that. There's your thought for mind. But on that note, that's the end of the intermediate video, and I hope you guys liked it. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. And yeah, another video is gonna be out in like 2 more days. So thanks, guys. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Glad you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to share and leave a comment. And if you like to see more of Trizzy's content, make sure to stay tuned and hit the subscribe button.